Welcome back to the Vape News. Today is a superb Saturday. Yeah, I've got a shield in front of my face. These are really weird. Better than the mask, I will admit. But either way, I digress. Today it is superb Saturday, so that does mean, as usual, you are graced with your local vape connoisseur today to help you with any of your vaping needs on the southern side of Merseyside. And I will still always say, I'm still not with them. Still not with it. I'm just a guy who knows things. I don't know why people go on, sage of knowledge, local vape connoisseurs. I know things. I mean, I know a lot about PC. I'm not a sage of knowledge in that sense. I'm still learning things. But apparently, I'm a sage of knowledge when it comes to these things. But either way. So, with this superb Saturday, what does that mean? Well, apart from being a brilliant day, nonetheless, it's the start of the weekend. So, with it being the start of the weekend, hopefully you'll all have an amazing start to it. Hopefully it is filled with a lot of positivity, joy, success, warmth, peace, love, determination, fun, and hopefully some sun. It was cracking the absolute flags this morning a little bit earlier on, but for some unfathomable reason it's decided to go rather doom and gloom looking. But either way, you don't have to have some sun to have some fun. But what have I got to speak to you about today? Well, obviously, a few things. First of all, we'll start off with the sort of news that we all pretty much know. We're not really all that fond of hearing about, but it needs to be said. Face masks in shops. I know you're probably already at this video going, oh my god. Again, it does need to be spoke about. Essentially, the government did put in place, I think it was on the Thursday, could have been the Friday. Either way, it was in place when I came in, and I came in on the Friday morning, so I'm assuming it came in on the Thursday. Yeah, it's now mandatory for any customers to come into a shop. They do need to wear some sort of face cover. Now, it can be a face mask, it could be one of these, it could be something along those lines. But as long as you've got something covering the nose and mouth, face cover. So, a lot of you guys did turn up with them, which is lovely to see. It's nice to know that you, even through confusing and slightly difficult times, that, we can all band together. We can all band together and get through this as a community, essentially. So it's all nice. It's nice to know. I've got no bad reports about you. You are doing well. Good on you. Keep it up. Another thing in lighter news, we do have some new kits. Now they were brought in on the restock day of Monday this week. I imagine we'll probably get some more next week as well. It always happens. There's always something new that comes in. But I've got 2 of them today. Sorry about the loud bus with the door open. But I've got 2 of them with me at the minute, just to show you what's going on with them. So essentially we'll start off with a very nice bit of kit, to say the least. We do have the Aegis Boost Max, not Max, Aegis Boost Plus, sorry. Now, this thing is very similar to an Aegis Boost, as you can probably tell by the name and the shape. And I would say size, but it's a little bit bigger, and I'll show you that in a second. Now, obviously, it does come in its original colours, very similar to the Aegis Boost, the original version, of course. So it's got the black, the gunmetal, the blue, the red, rainbow. I think they do an additional colour now as well. I think they do the silver. So, a very retro style, very similar to the original Aegis. So, yeah, they're the colour schemes they come in, and it works pretty much the same. Difference has been, as I said, it is a little bit bigger, so it's a little bit wider, roughly about the same height, maybe a smidgen taller, basically a hair touch taller, but quite a bit wider. Now, thickness is not really that much of a difference, to be honest. This one does taper in slightly. This one is pretty flat, so you can actually see the background bit here. to the front, whereas on this, it's pretty much straight. But not much difference in size. Does the exact same amount of wattage. It's 18650 powered, so instead of having an inbuilt battery, you've got an 18650 in there, which in the long run does mean better battery life, and on top of that, it's a lot more cost efficient in the long run as well. So, battery just inserted in the bottom. This just pulls up, this little tab. It would help if I had nails, because otherwise I actually cannot get this out. Bear with me a second, I'll try. There we go. Little tab there, all you do is pull that out, you can give that a bit of a spin, and it'll come out, put your battery in. I think it's positive side down, so when you put it in, you obviously want the positive down this end, negative up this end. And 5 clicks on and off, you've got your wattage up, your wattage down, there and there, and that's it. It's a fairly basic device, it pretty much speaks for itself. Obviously, with it being a part of the age line, it is, as per usual, IP67 rated. So that essentially means to the consumer that it's drop proof, water resistant up to, a lot of them like to say like stuff like 12 foot, 15 foot, it's 9 foot. It is 9 foot for an IP67 rating. It gets a bit questionable past 10. So 9 foot, so it's going to survive puddle drop at least. And it is dust proof, so you won't get any of these like dust particles lingering on the sides of it. You won't get on the inside of the mod, possibly fry some hardware. So a very secure and reliable device. Another one to erase is the new Smart RPM 160. Now, before I show you it, everyone's pretty much familiar with Smart, and everyone's pretty much familiar with the RPM series. It's done really well. They had the original RPM 40, you've got the RPM 80, you've got the RPM 80 Pro, you've got the Smart Fetch Pro now as well, which is a new one. And now we have the RPM 60. Now, a little bit of background onto the RPM 60. So, talking spec, you've got dual 18650 with the bigger pod attach that can hold up to 8mm. It's a 160 watt max, and it does support balanced charging. Now, these traits are a little bit familiar to bigger generic box mods, particularly stuff like the Aegis series, you know, majority of what iJoy have released as of recent. That's it. Do you know what? For a dual battery device, it's actually not that big. It's ridiculously light as well. I will get into that. It is ridiculously light. But that's it there. It's got dual airflow. It's actually that big, you can see right through, and you can just see my nose holes. Hello. My nostrils is the word I was actually looking for. But yeah, so we've got poly, which just pulls out. Very strong magnets, so it's not going to move anywhere. You've got fill port at the back, coil inserts in the bottom, as you can see, giant magnets, and they just click into place like so. So, goes back to normal. Fire button there, wattage up, wattage down. USB port for charging and firmware updates. And another thing I forgot to show you on the Aegis Boost is there's underneath the seal here, like that, you've got a USB port there as well. So both of them are USB chargeable. And yeah, another straightforward, straight to the point device. But for those who like the idea of a pod mod, but do wish to have it that little bit more stronger to sort of go the extra mile in performance. But that is pretty much it for me today, guys. It was just a quick one just to show you some of the new stuff that's coming. As you can see plainly behind me, the juice shelf is still filled to the absolute brim. So come and grab yourself something amazing today. Bear with me. Bit of a dry throat. Put that back on, we're good to go. But yeah, hopefully you'd all have an amazing day. Hopefully, as I said before, just filled with all that amazing stuff. Hopefully we get some sun today. But either way, even without the sun, have some fun today. And if I'm seeing you later on today, it'll be an absolute pleasure. As always, it's always nice to have your custom. It's always nice to have your company. And if not a problem. I'll catch up with you throughout the week.